Works Committee meeting for October 7, 2024. Councilor Wolverton.
Here.
Gear.
Here.
Sims. Nims is out. And Harden.
Here.
You got 3.
Woo! By the skin of our teeth. Julie said she's trying to get here, right? Yeah. Traffic was pretty bad on Route 65. Can I have a motion to for the reading and approval of minutes?
Thanks for the ring out. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilor Harden, second by Councilor Gear. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We have 1109. Sorry, no old business. New business is 110924. Request for consideration for streetlight on Edgeview Drive. Brought to us by Councilor Waltney. What's that?
Edgeview Avenue. So this was brought to my attention by one of the residents on the street that there are no street lights on that street. There's one on Oxmoor, but it's actually down and around, so it doesn't even shed light onto the street. So they had asked for a street light or 2, and Mr. Hamley met with Alabama Power.
Yeah,
Are there poles out front already?
well, all the power's being fed from behind the houses, but we do have one area where the alleyway crosses Edgeview, and there are power lines there that they can set a pole and put a light. It's about a little past midways up Edgeview Avenue. So, you know, we could get one light there, and if we decide later to add more lights, then they could add more poles down the street without having to get right away and come from behind the houses.
Yeah, and just, it's been a while, I feel like, since we've had an item like this, but I feel like we've always gone back historically and grabbed poles that were in front of the houses. I know over in Ward 2 there's lots of dark areas, but the problem, as we've met and driven around the neighborhood, is that a lot of the poles are behind the properties.
Right. And that would have been the case with this one, except for
There's this one spot.
We had the one spot where the power lines do cross, so
Okay.
we would be able to.
And remind me, is there extra cost for setting one
Yes,
pole?
Yes,
Okay.
they will charge for each pole and for any lines that have to be added. So
Gotcha.
right now, I don't have any cost yet, but this will need to go to finance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, usually there's 2 items, one here and one finance. Okay.
I need to know the location or something.
In the vicinity is 116 Edgeview.
Well, I'm thinking we should put a street light in, because I put that agenda item on.
The one would be,
Oh,
I guess that's what I'm trying
well,
to
no,
ask.
yeah. When we discussed it, we don't wanna have to go down the street adding poles if we don't need to. So we had discussed coming across that alley, way that's right there, and using that as a place, like, basically, the most simple way to put one in.
Right.
At least on the cost, or right away acquisition.
It's the most cost efficient
Yeah.
placement. And
Yeah, more than likely, it's gonna have to go somewhere around boundary line of 114 and 116 Edgeview.
Okay.
They have to stay at least 15 foot off of the primary line, so we couldn't set a pole right at the alleyway. And if they come 15 feet off, it's gonna be right in front of 116. It's right in the center of their front door. So we looked at possibly moving it down in between 114 and 116. To get it.
So they don't wanna set it in.
Ryan, are you able to?
They don't wanna set it in span.
Are you able to pull
Usually
up
they can put it
114,
in the middle of the
116
span
Edgeview?
and just hang the light off of it, is it lower or higher than their rack on top. They didn't wanna put it in.
Now, that wire that's crossing Edgeview is a primary wire, so it's
Yeah.
gotta stay at least 15 feet off of that.
Is there no ability to
You said
do
Edgeview what?
anything
Circle?
underground?
Avenue.
Since nothing
Edgeview
has been
Avenue.
put on that street yet? Too expensive?
Good, but it's gonna run into,
And no trees are gonna be affected, or
not,
no
not,
trees right around
not
there?
for this one.
Is this
If we look at adding any later,
Is this it?
we would have to cross that bridge, cause there are a
I don't
lot
know
of
where the person is. that brought it up.
trees up
Okay.
there, so.
He just said that their cars have been ransacked like 3 times in the last 6 months.
Well, I would think that
Are
the
they
people
locking
on
their
the
cars
far
up?
end of the street will be wanting, a light if we put one in the middle, cause it's, it dead ends, it gets really dark and a lot of trees
That's
up
what
at the
we
far
got
end.
John
I don't know if we might wanna consider that for next year. I don't know.
I can certainly have them, you know. look
Cost
at
it
their
out.
area.
It's like black hole.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, I mean, it's a dead end street, yeah.
That's looking down Edgeview from Oxmoor. Like, that's at like 500.
So this will put it about midway down.
Yeah,
That's
so at least
why.
it'll get a light midway. It's better than nothing, because it's very dark up there.
So, Brian, is this 114 or 116?
This is 114 right here.
Okay. So Randy, you're saying it'll be which side of the street or which?
Yeah, if they change just the 15 feet off of the line, it would put the pole dead center.
In front of the house.
The house, yeah.
For this house right here, the white one?
Well, I mean, that's the
Right.
minimum, right? So they could go, you know, further to hit a property line.
Yeah, now they could also go further, towards the end of the street too. I mean,
Okay.
just as long as they stay within, you know, a minimum of 15 feet off of that line. They gotta have at least 15 feet, so.
Okay.
That's a property
That's
line,
like,
so
they should,
Can they?
do that.
install any
They
poles.
have to join both ways.
From here.
Randy, there's an 18, Brian, will you pan back to the right slightly? There's an.
To the right.
Sorry.
Other way. Other way.
Yeah, there's an AT&T pole right behind that tree I
That's
can
the
see,
first one.
Yeah.
because it's a 30 foot or not, 35 or 40. I wonder if they're joint use, and they're separated on left and right. They
Oh,
could
they're
come
right
off
there.
and hop on that pole. It's set back a bit, but if that pole's
But
got a
you
shell
can
rod or
angle.
something, AT&T would likely replace it anyway, and they could move it toward the street a touch. So I think that's worth a suggestion to the power company.
Yeah, but there was another one on the other side.
Yeah, it looks like there's another one on the other side of the alley.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Technology is fine.
And there's the one up in the yard. I guess that's too far up.
Yeah, it's flat farther back.
But AT&T's getting off their poles anyway and joining the power companies because they don't want to.
Double up on poles.
Well, they don't care. It's the capital.
The cost,
expenditure.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's right lights in someone's window.
Yeah. Well, they would need to move it out to the street.
Move it close to the street.
They wouldn't do any good.
And that's the alleyway you were talking about, Randy?
Right.
Okay. Alright. Will?
So is the motion to, move it to council for approval? or-
Well, it would have to go to finance
Still need
too.
to go to finance.
So we'd have to, it would have to pass here, but also go to finance.
Yeah.
As it's a
So,
to fund.
send it to finance to fund with additional, information
We would,
about.
we would have to approve it here.
Okay, well, I move to approve it here and then
And
send
then
it to
finance would
finance for
have to-
funding.
Second.
Alright, we have a motion by Counselor Gear and a second by Counselor Harden. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, 3-0, vote. Okay, so I guess that'll go for a referral to finance next meeting. Does that sound right? Okay.
Sir. Besides receivers.
Just add that to the finance
Yes.
referral? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have 120924. This item is actually going to be carried over for tonight. We'll pick this up in a couple weeks. And then 130924, request permission to leave in place 4 crepe myrtles planted in the right of way at 717 Broadway. Brought to us by Cale Smith.
Yeah, Brian has some photos. So the pictures above the red line represent the tree, or show the trees
The
that
new
were
ones.
planted in the right of way. So they were planted, and then Scott, I think, stopped the installer at the last tree after he'd already done it. And are you Mr. Ford? I am. Mr. Ford's here. Who's the property owner? The pictures below. These are all pictures that Ben sent. The pictures below the red line represent other crepe myrtles in the right of way. So that's it. You can talk. You can talk. Okay.
Just I'm Ben Ford with my wife Rachel. We live at 717 with our daughter. It's right there by Jim Marcos. Y'all probably know right where it is.
No one parks in front of your house, do they?
Oh my goodness, all the time.
Never, yeah.
Yeah, and Oh, wow. So I'll keep this brief though. The storm in December that hit pretty bad in that area, it knocked out a lot of trees in the area, it hit us pretty badly, so we were just trying to put some more trees in the area, fix up our yard, and had no idea we needed to ask permission for that. But as Cale said, these are in place there now, and it wasn't random. We did crepe myrtles because a lot of the neighbors had crepe myrtles, and in that same stretch right there by the street, so we're trying to match other people in the area and make it look nice. Happy to answer any questions you'll have.
Do you happen to know if it's a smaller variety or a larger variety?
It's
Like-
small. It's not the largest because the landscaper who helped with this walked us through that, and he said he was trying to match the ones in the area. So I think it's a medium size. I know
Okay.
that's probably not the term.
Well, that's probably about right. If it is similar to those, it'll stay kind of leggy and maybe not just get huge.
Yeah, he
each
said
of those.
it would not have.
Not the
a huge-
Indian types. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Berkeley, how you feeling about your sidewalk right there?
I'm not getting in that anymore.
Yeah, I believe we
Yeah,
asked
but
that
you're-
question a few times.
It's gonna buckle the sidewalk.
It'll affect
I mean,
the
it's
sidewalk.
going, so I'm not being ugly. You can go down to where we're doing a sidewalk now that's got crepe myrtle planted there and it's lifted it up and we're having to replace it, so. And that area is not meant to do that. That's up to you guys.
Are there any other just questions? Should we just send it out without recommendation?
This is not.
This isn't one of
This is
those
no
things.
public
Oh,
hearing.
we
This
give
doesn't have
we give the permission, yes or no here?
And it
There's a
is
recommendation here.
three. I know it said four, but just want to be clear, it's three crepe myrtles.
I was gonna say, I didn't count a fourth either, yeah.
I think Scott stopped it.
stopped him, I guess.
No, I think, well,
Anyway, it doesn't matter, there's three then.
you're three, yeah.
Three self-crossing.
It's a new sidewalk.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest concern. Today it looks great, 5 years from now it looks great, but 10 years from now we're gonna have to put a new sidewalk in. As the roots.
Oh. I will remind the committee that we allowed 3 or 4 other big oak trees to stay, that had been planted on Morris, I think it was, about 6 months ago. 6 months to a year ago. In a slightly larger right of way, but it was still, they're still gonna do the same thing. Have similar effects, and this won't be near as large a tree as the oaks that we allowed to stay. Well, I make the motion to approve.
Alright, we have a motion. Jaleed's not here, so it's.
I'll second it.
Alright.
I think they look good. Get
Oh.
beat up by the first
Just, alright, so we have a motion by Counselor Gear, second by Counselor Harden. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, 3-0, so that will go out to full council next Monday night, at 6 p.m. for everybody to vote on. And then I was hoping that I could get, so, yeah, any other questions?
Can I? I think so.
Okay.
Happy to answer any.
Go ahead.
So would you be willing to, provide the cost to replace them when the trees push them up and put a crack? Would you be willing to absorb the cost for that?
Yeah, that happens, sure.
Okay.
I think it's proper.
Just trying to think of a way that we don't have to.
So you have to redo the motion with the proffer included?
Well, I would think we could vote on that next week at
Be part of the
council.
vote on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, we've approved, we're sending it to council with a positive recommendation, but the whole council will have
And
to vote
everybody
next
next
week.
Monday will discuss
So
it.
is the property to repair the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like
That's what I heard.
there's a proffer for that would probably help your cost.
To proffer that, yeah, it would.
Yeah, the images is kind of like a flip-flop.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
What, if I could ask
Go ahead.
maybe I should, if we were to sell the house, could we transfer it to the next owner?
That's what the, I think that's what the
If you
pro,
wanna do that, I need the legal description to come file a lien on the property.
we don't have to do that then.
Yeah, then that's,
I mean, you can do it either way, it depends on how we set it up.
Well, I guess we can talk about more on Monday.
Well, it might be good to have the legal description just in case.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, just so the committee knows,
Hard
the
to
legal
keep up
description
with
isn't something
these.
that he like has probably already.
Well, you have it on your survey.
Right, I'm not sure if he has a survey. I'm just saying he may
Survey
not
for
have a
buying
legal
house.
description ready.
we had a survey from Gianni, who used to own the house,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure what's, I haven't looked at it.
The survey shouldn't change, so if they've got a survey.
Mortgages on that. If you have a mortgage, it's legal description for the properties on that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem then. Okay.
Perfect.
Just send me that.
Okay.
Okay. Sweet. Okay.
That's exactly what I was
Actually,
saying.
not yet. I would love for somebody to make a motion to go into executive session
For what?
For what?
for
We have something to talk about.
discussion of, let's see, pending
Litigation?
It's what we
not
talked
litigation.
about Outside.
Alright, somebody.
I'd like for our
Okay, I
attorney
like
to
that.
tell us why we
Potential-
would go to into
So it's
executive
hot.
session.
What's that?
If it's gonna discuss pending litigation or threatened litigation, discussion be limited to that. That's what you're saying.
It's not, okay. But I need, what's that? Yeah, I would say 10 minutes?
I think you
Make
can
it.
make the motion, right? He can make the motion, right? This isn't like an item on this agenda.
Well, yeah, it's on the agenda.
Yeah, he can just make the motion
Okay,
for the executive
well then,
session.
I'm gonna move,
But
to
typically,
go
the
into
chair
executive
doesn't-
session for
doesn't make the
10
motion.
minutes.
You have to hand over the
Second.
gavel for someone, if you wanna make the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. But we
No
need
idea
to,
what it is.
sure, he,
Okay, I,
Alright,
I'm not sure what we're doing.
delete. Alright, 4-0. Okay, so we're gonna go move to executive session. I have a motion to close executive session.
So moved.
second,
Alright. Motion by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Gear. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll go 4-0 on that.
Can you take some things off the table?
Yes, so, Mr. Gwaltney, do you have that 180719 item? Consideration of changes to support infrastructural installation. It's from
No,
2019,
I know it's on
tabled
the
in
table. I don't
2020.
have anything for it, no, it's been on the table for
Right, are you okay with
6 years.
if it's removed?
You can, it's your committee, do as you please.
I just didn't know if you had anything.
No,
you
I don't
wanted to
have
do
anything
with
with
it. Okay. And then this right of way, let's see, Kale, where'd Kale go?
Oh, that's that,
That's that right of way that we
The
were
lady-
waiting for them to come back and,
the lady who never, if she
Yeah.
planted those cedars,
Something
yeah, I don't,
Smith.
so I'm,
yeah, I don't know that they.
my
were-
inclination would be to get rid of that one too, since we hadn't heard anything in over a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and, can I have a motion to take 1807?
It's
08, sorry, 080719 off the table.
So
Motion by
moved.
Counselor Nell, second by Counselor Harden. Okay, anybody wanna do anything with that one?
don't we move it to new business and then?
It's already been
No.
moved, thanks.
No, we're
Okay.
pulling it off the table,
Yeah.
somebody can motion
you
to
can
drop
drop
it.
I'll make a motion to drop it.
Alright,
Second,
motion by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Nelms, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, that's dropped 4-0. And then 2009-22, anybody care
I'll
to?
make a motion to drop that.
Oh, wait,
You
take
gotta
it
pull it
off.
off the table.
Take it off
Yep.
the table, yeah, I'm sorry.
Second.
I'll make a motion to take it off the table.
Alright, motion to take it off the table by Counselor Harden, second by Counselor Gear. Alright, it's on the table,
motion
Well,
to drop.
no, it's not.
it's on the agenda,
You gotta have a vote.
Oh,
sorry.
You gotta vote.
Okay, motion and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to drop.
Alright, it's
Second.
4-0 to pull it off the table, motion to drop by Counselor Gear, second by Counselor Harden, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, dropped 4-0. And then with that, we stand adjourned.